Hi, I'm Samantha Christopherson, co-founder of KW Professional Organizers. I'm going to go with you some of the hacks that I have used in my journal and some of the things that I've seen from other people so that you can have a quick overview. But don't worry if I'm going too fast, because below you're going to find links to be able to go through all the exercises of these hacks yourself. So if you think something's going to work for you, great, because you can get a step-by-step instruction of it right afterwards. So let's dive right in. So I'm talking about Post-its today. They come in a bunch of different sizes. Here we've got a few different shapes, and I want to tell you about how I use them when setting up my journal. So again, this is a 2018 journal. Nothing's in it's completed, but what I did was use the Post-its to be able to mark the page so that I knew how I was going to lay out my journal. So this is the basic setup that I needed to have. You can also use this that maybe I want to take some time and really make the title page really creative, but I don't want to do it right now when I'm setting up. It's going to be a future task. I'm just going to leave that Post-it in there so that the page is marked, and I also remember, well, what is it that I wanted to write there? Here I've labeled that I'm going to have index pages. Moving forward, I'm going to have a future log, and I did a little sample of what it will look like on the Post-it, so I can kind of decide. This is really helpful for people who are a bit perfectionist about it. They don't want to make any marks on the paper until they're sure they have the layout done the way they want it. Here also in the back, this is a hack that a lot of people use. It's that if they don't want to carry around the actual bulky piece of the Post-it, they can lay out Post-its in advance on one page in their sheet, and then as they use them, they can peel it off and then put it on the piece of paper that they wanted to signify or mark with that Post-it. So that's one way of keeping your Post-its flat and in your journal ready to use them. The other way to use Post-its is also, so this is a very old journal of mine, but I used Post-its to mark and write on the side of what it was. So here, you know, it said that it was my writing, and here there was another writing. And anyways, you can see that they became really worn and really, you know, like not easy to read. And it's because of the material. So again, maybe this isn't the best thing to use if you're going to be a little bit rougher with your journal, or you want something to be a little bit firmer. We'll go through other things like that. And here in this book, you'll actually see that I keep my not my bullets, but my Post-its inside of the actual flap that I have in my journal. So that can be really another helpful way to carry them around. The next thing I'm going to talk about are divider tabs. So basically what that is something to divide your book. It can come out, it can be glued in or taped into your journal, but essentially creates this kind of hard piece in your book that it's very easy to find what that is. You can also add on a tab on the side if you want it to stick out and label that. But again, that style for me doesn't work because I tend to wear them down quite a bit. So we'll go into how to add those into your journal afterwards. The next thing I'm going to do is talk about the permanent tape edge. So in my index here, you'll see that my gratitude tracking, I wanted to make sure that it was an important page in my journal. So I've marked it with the tape. I take a piece of the tape and I put it along that edge so that I've got a nice thick edge on my gratitude tracker. You can see that when you close the book as well, that, oh, okay, as soon as I see that tape, I know that I'm going to be going to my gratitude tracker. So that's one cool hack so that you can find your pages quickly. The next one I'm going to talk about is how to get your pen on the side of your journal. So first of all, you need to have a journal that has the ribbon around. You can always add this in yourself if you don't have one for a book. An elastic band works the same, but essentially you're going to pull the thread over to the right side, and then you're going to wrap it around the bottom left corner. And then that allows you to stick your pen right on the edge as long as it has a clip and it's held in there really strong. Okay, so even when you shake it, it's not coming out of there. Another system way of doing that is having it along the top, but as you can see, it's a lot flimsier. It doesn't really stay in, and it can be shaken around or taken off. If you do it this way, it's locked in there, and this still is not as nice, but it still works. So you can do something like that to keep your pen with you and handy. The other one that I want to do is show you about the envelope. In this journal, it didn't have a pocket to be able to hold things. As I said, I like to put things inside of at the back to maybe hold onto my Post-its. So I just taped an envelope onto the back of this journal, and then it acts as a nice pocket guard for me in my journal. Okay, so that's another hack. And then the last one that I wanted to show you was the cutout marks. So this is a great way to index your book. You can see I've added a little bit of color, but here I've actually cut out sections so that I can say, okay, the green section is going to be my month of January, okay? And then it's gonna start here. And then the orange section, all of this is January. I'm gonna move on to that, and that's gonna be February. Pink is gonna be March. And basically all I've done is cut out triangles on the side and given them a little bit of color. And then you see that on the side of your book. And if you were to do the whole book like that, you'd of course have a really easy way to be like, okay, I'm jumping into January. Okay, I'm jumping into March. So that's a cool hack. I hope you've enjoyed these, and please feel free to do the exercises below.